Good afternoon, YouTube. Welcome back once again to Fat Cat Collections. Today I want to share with you guys another gun purchase. I know I said all right, I'm gonna hold off for a while, but it just seems like there's always some gun I want to get. So, and the funny thing is I've always been a firearm enthusiast, and over the last couple of years I really started to want to kind of get rid of some of the watches I don't wear as much, and then kind of put the money towards guns. I don't know, just kind of started the ball rolling a little bit where now there's a bunch I want. There's a lot of affordable guns out there, So if you haven't checked out any of my other videos I've done, again, remember when I do a gun review, YouTube is flooded with gun connoisseurs and gun experts. Mine are pretty basic, pretty straightforward, just show and tells. It's another video to put up. In case any of you, again, for my mainly, some videos I do are for, I guess, like all of YouTube, and other videos I do are mainly for my subscribers. And this is how we learn about cool things. If you enjoy watching me and you enjoy what I have to say, then you might, I might share a product with you guys that, maybe you didn't even think you might want to, own. So now, prior to kind of, I've always had guns over the years, but I just started really increasing my collection of guns in the last couple of years. And, I've never really gravitated towards, as a man, as a, a manly, masculine dude, I think guys like just cool, like, rough things and tough. Not to say females don't either. Don't come at me already, ladies, and start, God, I swear every time I say something like that, it's like, yeah, well, women can do it too. It's like, yeah, I know that. It's like, Jesus, chill out. So anyway, but when I first got my first centerfire handgun or semi-automatic handgun, it was a 22. I was 16 years old. And I've had a few other guns over the years, and I've kind of sold those, and I don't know, I just kind of put it off for a long time, and now, my first gun that I picked up was a Canik, and I love it, 9mm. I wanted something for concealed carry, but the thing is that with concealed carry, to me, and some of you may feel differently about this, and that's okay, but to me, concealed carry, it's never really concealed carry. Like, when you think of concealed carry, when I think of the term, I'm like, oh yeah, something you can easily tuck in your waistband, carry with you. It's going to be comfortable. It's like your wallet. It's never like your wallet. None of them are comfortable, in my opinion. Again, that you might be totally different and say, oh, I don't agree, and that's okay. Remember, this is subjective. What I consider comfortable, you may not, and vice versa. Now, it doesn't stop me from still carrying a handgun, but I picked up this Taurus Spectrum because I wanted something extremely small. I wanted something that I could always carry with me that's extremely easy to conceal and as comfortable as it could possibly be. Remember that in a combat situation, any life-threatening situation, in all the fights I've gotten into over the years as a young guy, you never really know how you're going to react. And the thing is that when it comes to, there's a lot of responsibility in carrying a gun, and I don't always, be honest with you, there are parts of me that are like, man, I wish we didn't all carry guns, right? A lot of people do. But it really can escalate a situation really quickly. So, I kind of live with the idea that my life has to be really threatened before this thing ever gets pulled out. And it never has, and hopefully it never will. But I did want something, again, extremely concealable. And, there's a lot of places that I find guns extremely uncomfortable to carry, and I have a collaboration with Craft Holster Company. I love the brand. I have another one coming for this gun I'll be sharing. But no matter what holster I get, there's nothing I get in concealed carry. When I say concealed carry, I mean inside the waistband, undershirt, shoulder holster. Even a shoulder holster can be somewhat concealed. When I think of open carry, I just think of on the hip, right? It's really out there. It's super noticeable. And I just feel like that's the only way for me personally to comfortably carry. Getting in and out of a car, having it tucked in your waistband, it's uncomfortable. Having it in another spot that I find pretty comfortable is on the backside here. But again, I don't always want this thing digging into my leather in my car, so I'm always concerned with that. So I want something that's really going to be very rounded, something that's not going to affect, I know it sounds kind of dumb, like, oh, you're worried about your leather, but I don't want to have my handgun grinding. My cars are older. I babied them my entire life, or their entire life. I don't have any nicks and tears and stuff like that. And if it's something I can help, I want to be able to help it. Now, if you're wearing a coat or a shirt you can pull over, that's going to protect it. But the position on this here, a lot of times, when you're carrying on the side, I find it just, even tipped forward, it just kind of hits the leather. So a lot of times I find myself taking the gun out if I'm going to carry it there and sitting in a car. Nice thing about this is that it's so compact that it blends in pretty nicely. Now, when I say, you know, when I was talking about the masculine thing, you know, my first thing with, you know, my first idea was like, oh, I don't care about the comfort. It's for the purpose. And, you know, I want that full-size handgun. You know, that's what I want. And then I get the full-size handgun. I'm like, well, this is a little bit big, you know. Then I'm like, all right, well, you know, it doesn't mean I'm not going to still get more full-size handguns, right? Doesn't mean I'm still not going to carry them. But I just wanted something that when comfort is my concern, you know, going to be in a car for a while, going to go somewhere where I really don't want this thing sticking out. The Taurus Spectrum is fantastic. Everything is very ergonomic. It's very rounded. Let me just pop the magazine out here. Make sure we're doing the safe thing. Super small, super compact. And remember, in a situation that you know, where your life is threatened, I understand that you know, there are advantages to having certain guns, right? But something like this is a 380. I don't really foresee any kind of issues with this. In that terrible situation where you have to defend yourself, I think this is adequate, you know. And I absolutely love the fact that it's super compact. Again, it's super well-rounded. It doesn't dig into a lot of places. Very easy to conceal. And even if you didn't use, I get this Kydex, and if you're going to look for a holster, not many people have these for an affordable price. I'll link to this in the description as well. This is off an eBay seller. I don't know if this is a custom-made thing. Kydex holster fits absolutely perfect, and it's the most comfortable way, I think, to carry it. Now, I do have a craft leather inside the waistband holster coming. That might be even more comfortable, but this is so small, full of dust already and lint. You can very easily conceal this even without a holster. Now, the two magazines they give you, one is a, what do we got here? One is a 6-round, and the other is a 5-round. 380 auto. And with the 6-round magazine, what I do like about it is that you have a pinky rest here, right? And so without the pinky rest, if you take this out and put it in the other magazine, it's just completely flat. Your hand, and I don't have big hands, you really can only grab this with 2 fingers, you know, or your ring finger and your middle finger. Your pinky's kind of hanging. Now, that doesn't mean you can't squeeze and still pop off a proper shot, right? But it definitely is a little more comfortable with the Groove magazine. And it doesn't really take up that much more room. If it was something that I wasn't going to use the holster, and I really wanted something really concealable, I'd probably put the other magazine or the other magazine on it. And this thing you can just tuck inside your pocket. Nobody would even know you have that. Now there is a slight, you know, shape there, but nobody would, I think, would really notice that. If that's a really big concern, they do make pocket holsters, which actually change the shape to more of a square looking thing, which makes it look like you have a wallet in your pocket. But this is something you could very easily, very comfortably tuck in your waistband. I mean, now sitting, nothing in this area, I don't care what you got, what anybody says, you know, none of it's comfortable. It's pinching you. Doesn't matter what your body weight is. And I think if you're a bigger guy, like if you have a little more of a belly on you, you know, because I'm not ripped by any means, so I got a little bit of, you know, fat in the waistline, and that kind of pinches into the gun. If you were like super lean, 6-pack, that might be a little more comfortable for you. My buddy, he's super skinny, about like 120 pounds, I think. Really trim guy. He carries a 45 there. But he also wears his pants bigger, baggier. More room there, you know, more room because of the pants, not any other reason. But he carries that pretty comfortably. But I don't think if you're in a situation where you're sitting, anything is super comfortable. I think with a gun like this is going to be your best bet. I do find that I can carry it, you know, right in the front like that. But what I don't like about carrying without a holster is, you know, God forbid this thing were to fall down and fall out my leg. I'd look like a jackass. And, you know, if you do tuck it into your underwear a little bit, like that's a little bit better, right? But you know, the holster is still a better way of carrying it. And again, you're not going to find tons of holsters for this. Let me just get a little closer and show you what the gun looks like here. And I know you guys have seen these, you know, and this is not something new, but the price on this was fantastic. Now, one thing to be noted about this, you know, there's no guns that I have that I'm like, oh, I really don't like this or that. There's always going to be little things that I think can be improved upon. I do like the fact that everything's very rounded, again, very comfortable. But it's when pulling the slide back, you have a little bit of this rubberized coating here, but it's not. It's a little bit difficult to pull the slide back. Now, I'm not saying difficult necessarily for me, but if you're like my mom can never pull this back. Even my dad at his age has a hard time pulling this back. So that's something to think about. You don't have a lot of grip there, and I wish that maybe they would have put something more of like some very aggressive grooves in there rather than this kind of recessed rubber piece. Non-adjustable sights, which to me isn't really a big deal. The slide catch or slide button here, very, very small. I mean, it's pretty much like flush with the gun, but not a big deal. Remember, this is kind of like, this is just something you're never really going to use. This isn't a target shooting gun. This isn't something you're going to go to the range and really, you know, work on your accuracy. I mean, I know you should. You know, you should be familiar with any gun you have that you're going to expect to fire at some point. But again, it's not really meant for that. Now, this is a double action only gun. So for those of you who don't know, and this was a little bit of a surprise to me when I got it, because I just saw the price, it was like 199 bucks. I was like, that's what I want. I want something cheap, inexpensive. Don't have to worry about scratching it, or if if it fell overboard on the boat or something like that. You know, just want something very simple and easy. And again, very concealable inside a jacket pocket. Nobody would know you have this. Again, always follow the rules and regulations of your state, but it is very easy to conceal. I love it. I'm very happy with it. Now, I haven't shot it yet. I haven't, you know, taken it to the range yet, and I will. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos, guys shooting this. You know, it gets good reviews. You know, lifetime warranty with Taurus. I'm not worried about anything. I think it's comfortable. Again, very, very compact, and I really think it's all you need. I think, you know, having something like this makes it easier to bring it with you. Having a full-size gun, to me, when I want to carry, you know, my gun somewhere, go somewhere, it's something I'm always thinking about. With this, it's just something that kind of blends into my body, and I'm not too concerned with it, right? So I hope that makes sense. As far as a double action, remember, most semi-automatic handguns, you pull the slide back. Now you're in single action mode, very light trigger, and then of course every trigger pulls the same. With a double action gun, this is like a revolver basically. So every time you pull the slide back, when you pull the slide back, you're not cocking the firing pin or the hammer. When you pull the trigger is when you're cocking the hammer, and of course you're striking the round. So it's a longer trigger pull, it's a harder trigger pull, but it's not, I mean, unless you really have a hard time, like you have arthritis or something really going on with your fingers, not a big deal. The nice thing about this too is if you are going to carry around the chamber, it's pretty safe. The hammer's down, it really can't go off. Hopefully. So, but keep that in mind if you are going to you know, get this. It is a double action only gun. So that's about it, guys. I like it. Only negative thing I have to say about it is you really have to slam the magazine in to get it to seat. Pushing it in, I find, doesn't really work. And I do have to call Taurus and see, it did that time, but I do have to call Taurus and find out if that's normal. I think it is. It's not a big deal to me. Again, but I do need to fire the gun, test it, make sure it cycles properly. But overall, I love it. Nice, small, compact gun, and the price is right. That was the biggest thing. When you're looking at some of the other competitors out there, Ruger makes a couple, but your price is starting to get into that $300 price range. For this, super cheap, super affordable, 199 bucks. You really can't go wrong. And if you are more flamboyant, there are many different color options. I went the black because it was cheap. Make it white, green, pink, whatever color you want. Ladies, nice little purse gun. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you have any questions whatsoever. If I can answer them, I will. Drop me a comment, drop me an email. I'll put links in the description for this cool stuff. And as always, guys, have a great day. Be kind to one another, and take care.